For some people, food is just one of the basic needs to survive. For others, food is more than just a necessity, but a pleasure that plays a great role in their life. Some of the recipes have been kept through generations, and these old traditions are the only thing that people can feel like a society by. Even though recipes change from the past, but every culture has its own touch when it comes to traditional food. My grandmother's name is Mariam. She is now 65 years old, which means that she had lived through decades of development in this country and witnessed its prosperity. The changes were very rapid and great, and it made life easier for the citizens and residents. Also, their lifestyle had changed a lot due to the diversity of food and their sources, as the United Arab Emirates was a burner desert prior to the union of the seven Emirates. The life of the people depended on traveling to look for food and water, so that was my grandmother's life, traveling between Al Ain, Ras Al Khaimah, Al Qawain and Oman. Women used to travel on donkeys for around 2 hours weekly to get water that will be later used for cooking, drinking, and washing clothes. The flour for bread and the rice was imported from coastal cities Al Qawain and Ujman, which was brought back to the country by local sellers and traders. The moving the goods from coastal cities to Al Ain takes around 2 days traveling on camels that carry the flour, rice, and traders. As my grandmother grew up, some markets started to show up before the union of the country by some years and other kinds of food. And on that time, my grandmother's uncle brought the food for them for the first time from Sharjah. Post-unions, more markets started to spread around the country with a variety of food options, and the agriculture had improved as His Highness Sheikh Zayed, may he rest in peace, gave orders to plant the country to change it from a yellow desert to a green land. Even though, after having several options and various types of food nowadays, dates are still my grandmother's favorite food. In the past, our ancestors had suffered from the limitation of food and water sources in the desert, as I understood from my grandmother. Without a wise leader and a cooperation between other leaders, the United Arab Emirates will not reach this place and this improvement that it reached nowadays. The green population and the commercial farms that the country supports the nationals to contribute in is a great example of the facilities that the country make to improve the national production of agribusiness activities.
Interesting story, isn't it, Show?
Yes, I have learned many new things about the oral food history in UAE.
I absolutely agree with you. I have learned from this story that our grandparents have many valuable information and wisdom that we don't know and we may never know if we don't talk to them about how hard their life was and what the difficulties that they were facing in their daily life before the development of the country.
Yeah, in the past, people were struggling around to get water and food. But after the union of the UAE 7 Emirates, life became so easier than what it was like, and people don't have to travel around to get what they want from food or water anymore.
Of course, life now is much easier than what it was in the past, since now we can find anything we want around us.